Are we live yet?
Yeah, we are. We are live. So we start in 2 minutes.
All right.
Okay. All right. So let's begin. All right. Good evening, everyone. Watching this live stream on YouTube. It's a pleasure to have every one of us on this live streaming. Okay, and it's also a honor to have our guest speaker here, Mr. Ugi, who is the founder of NFT Africa. He has a vast portfolio across the tech space. Very much welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, guys. Welcome to this crypto and NFT talk. And we'll try to give you guys a lot of information today. So
Awesome.
you're welcome. Yeah.
All right. So once again, welcome everyone. This is the first of this series that is focused around NFT, Metaverse, DeFi, and all of that. As we all know, those are trending topics in the crypto and blockchain space. And it's very important that we pay key attention to these trends and try to see how we can leverage on them. So I believe this series, this session we'll be having would be of huge benefit to every one of us, okay, in the ecosystem. So today's focus will be on NFT, and like I mentioned earlier, we have Mr. Ugi, who is the founder of NFT Africa. So he's going to be the speaker for today. Okay, so without wasting much time, we would like to go straight to the reason why we are here today. All right, it's going to be a very interesting conversation for us. So let's stay around and be very attentive. If you have any question, you can make use of the chat section, ask your question, and we will do our best to respond to your questions accordingly. Okay, so NFT has become, you know, one of the trends, in the world, especially last year. When we saw how the NFT market cap, tripled, as a result of the the exponential sales, okay, that we experienced in NFT last year. So a lot of persons have been asking, what is NFT? What's really going on that place? What are people really buying? Are they just JPEGs? What's really special about it, and all of that. So what are NFTs, and what are some of them worth millions of dollars? Okay, some NFTs are worth over $10 million, or even more. So what are NFTs exactly, and why are they worth that millions of dollars? All right, so over to you, sir.
All right. So basically, an NFT from a layman stand, from a layman point of view, is just anything. You know, an NFT could be an image of you smiling, an image of you kissing, an image of you doing anything. It could be a music file, it could be a video file, it could be practically anything, anything at all. But then when you put it on the blockchain, it becomes a non fungible token, right? And NFTs are valuable because we human beings, we gave them value, right? If you look at money as well, you know, if you look at Bitcoin, if you look at all the coins you've been trading, communities give them value. So without the communities backing a project, there's actually no value. So yes, you could get your stuff minted and on the blockchain, but if somebody don't find it valuable to buy it from you, then it's just the same as a useless item. Okay, so NFTs are um, given value by community. If I have a set of um, items that I've worked on with maybe an artist or with a musician, and I mint them on the blockchain, and I build a community around them. Without that community around them, you hardly give value to them. Okay, and NFTs not only they're not just for sale alone. Okay, you could mint your document and keep them on the blockchain. Your certificate, your school certificate, any document that is important to you can be kept on the blockchain because it is safe, it's secured. You can always get back and you can always see it. Okay, so it in terms of value, those ones may not be really valuable, but if you have a, so for example, if you have a piece of land and the documents are minted on the blockchain, that's actually value, which means if I buy that land from you, you're going to transfer the NFTs to me, and maybe you want to give me the physical copies of those documents, but if I look at the NFTs, I say that okay, this is, you have said because I own this NFT, I own this piece of land. Okay. So this is also what is happening with the metaverse and all other people buying piece of plot of land in the metaverse, owning certificates in NFTs for those land and all of that. It could also be a physical land somewhere that you have. It can be just anything. So the application of NFTs spans across our entire lives. And last year, I think, and in some weeks, NFTs were trading for $1 billion. I think there was a total of more than 50 to $100 billion last year, and it was massive. Okay,
Yeah.
so communities were building and minting and creating and driving value to these NFTs, and you might call it hype, you might call it, taking money from those who don't understand the concept just yet. But that is why we are here today to also put a talk on and on those NFTs that are valuable, those NFTs you should buy. Okay, so all of those things is why we're here. So that's just a bit of the understanding of what NFTs are, and it's got a very huge potential for all of us, for the entire world. So like I said, we give them value, communities give them value, you and I give them value. So if we say we agree that okay, we are creating a community, a big community, and we are minting thousands of stocks and we are putting them on the blockchain, we are all buying into it. Other persons globally are also buying into it. So, do we have a lot in Africa to give out in terms of NFT? Yes, our culture, our food, our everything. You know, we are unique categories or unique people. You know, the black race is unique. So we have so much in terms of our culture, in terms of our dance, in terms of our, our food, in how we relate with each other. There's a whole lot to give out in terms of culture in there, and we could actually control the NFT market if we put our qualities, if we put the uniqueness of the African space on the blockchain. I've seen some very unique projects from African heritage, very, very unique project that predict the future of Africa, predict a whole lot of things. And for us, this is what we want to encourage. This is what we want to see, that we're out there presenting our unique ideas where we want Africa to be in the next few years, in the next decade, and all of that. So yeah, so that's that for what answering the that question. What really are NFTs?
All right. I'd like to emphasize this point because when people think of NFTs, they think of NFTs as just digital content. But you made mention of the fact that it could be a non-digital content to a piece of land. Okay,
Yeah.
so it means when we see NFT, we could see them in terms of tangible and non-tangible, entities. Tangible entities like piece of land, a certificate, or something, that is tangible to us. Okay, physically. So I think that point has been noted. Okay, and also the fact that NFTs are built around communities, and it's the communities that actually do give them that value. You understand? So that's well noted. All right. So now digital arts, okay, has many problems. When we talk about digital art, I'm speaking of it in a exclusive sense, okay, of it, okay. And one of the problems that digital art faces, for example, is that you can simply screenshot a digital content, or you download that digital content, okay, from wherever wherever on the internet. And NFTs are not so different from digital content like that. So, what's really the justification that someone who is paying $1 million for an NFT has over someone who can, download that same piece of content? It's just like we go to OpenSea. There are a lot of NFTs there, and I can just simply screenshot it or download it, and I still have the same piece of it, just like the person who has paid $1 million to own that content. So, what's really the justification between I, who is able to screenshot it, and someone else who is paying $1 million to own that piece of content?
All right. So I think that's why the blockchain is there to help us out. You know, when you screenshot, what can you use it for? Maybe you can print it and keep in your house. That's okay. Nobody will see it except you and your visitors, right? But can you bring it back to the blockchain? No. The answer is no. You cannot use it, you cannot sell it, you cannot do anything with it. You know, the world is getting really, really, really small. I see the world now as a very tiny, tiny, tiny place where what you do in your village can appear in faraway China. Okay, so it's easier to track, ownership of these items, these digital items. You know, some of them are actually um, meta tagged. You know, so if you view them, they have the owners, they have, and all those details are there on the blockchain. Okay, so you just capturing an image of it doesn't give you ownership. What gives you ownership is the uniqueness on the blockchain. The fact that it was minted on the blockchain, is available on the blockchain. That same item cannot be minted again on the blockchain. Even if it is minted, it is easily recognizable because the blockchain is a small space, it's a very small space. I can go here, see an item, then I see it again with somebody else. I'm going to ask questions. Was it a unique mint, or was it minted several times and many people bought in and all of that? So if they were minted 1,000, I should be able to see that I have 1,000 on the blockchain. If they were minted five, I should be able to see that I have one or five, or I have five or five. Okay, so the blockchain gives NFTs that uniqueness. It's a unique item on the internet. You can't see two of it, or if you see 1,000 of it, it was minted 1,000, and if there are 1,000 owners, you own one. Okay, so just going and screenshotting what you can use it for, it stays in your phone, nobody is seeing it. It stays on your laptop, it stays inside your house, nobody is actually interacting with it. Nobody knows you own it. So that's why I said it could be hype. The thing about NFTs, it could actually be hype. I own these monkey heads that I see everywhere on the internet. People are buying them and putting them on their display pictures and all of that. you know you can actually use it if you just screenshot it, right? You can use it on your, nobody really cares. But that item on the blockchain, people care about those things that are minted on the blockchain. Okay, especially as we are beginning to see games, we are beginning to see several utilities around NFTs. So with an NFT, I can enter a game, I can play, I can win, I can earn money. Okay, with an NFTs, I can enter. There are so many games that are coming up that have play to earn utility, and you just need their NFTs to play. So more reasons to own NFTs are coming up every day. But just to finalize on that question, I'll say the items on the blockchain, the NFTs minted on the blockchain are unique. The highest you can do is screenshot it, like you said, and it stays useless on your device. And even if you go ahead to maybe print it on and keep in your house, it stays right inside your house, and then nobody sees it. Okay, then there are other items like music items, music files. For music files, it's very clear. If you don't buy it, right, you can't have that music file. Okay, that's where musicians are really going to benefit from NFTs, because if I mint 1 million copies and 1 million people buy it, there are 1 million owners. That creates an economy. I can wake up, if it's valued at $5,000, I can resell my own to somebody else that's willing to buy it. Okay, so that's the uniqueness. It's actually unique. NFTs are unique, and it's actually difficult in a way to just screenshot them and then say you own them. No, that doesn't hold. If you make it public, you put it public, you would have issues. You will definitely have issues. Okay, if you put them on your public profile on social media, somebody could see them, copyright issues here and there, you could be sued. The legal implication, you don't want to get into a mess with legalities that are hanging around NFTs. So it's either you buy them, own them, or you don't even screenshot, or you don't even do anything with them, except you're purchasing them directly from the creators or the owners.
Okay, so to wrap it up, the idea of ownership, about NFTs makes it very unique, from um, the other person who can easily go and screenshot it, or
Yeah.
download that full copy of it. The idea of exclusive ownership that is authenticated on the blockchain, and everybody can come and verify that that particular NFT is being owned by a social person. Okay, so and that you made mention of something about the legality, the other aspect of legality of NFTs. It's more like a follow up question, of what legal side or legal aspect should we be looking out for, when we talk about NFTs and all of that, especially when it has to do with ownership, okay, of digital content.
All right. In the space, there are so many legal issues coming out every day. And recently, I have been involved with a project, and it is so bad that even copying what is existing is a problem. Okay, and this is where creators have to be aware. You cannot copy. For example, we are working on a game, and one of the things we wanted to do in the game was bring out NFTs for the game, right? And some of our NFTs were looking more like that of Marvel Studios and all of that. And we actually got, people calling on our attention that, oh, these characters looked like Marvel Studio, this character looked like this. And when we put them on the blockchain, that it's actually going to cause a stir. There will be a problem because Marvel has put a lot in creating their characters based on their own stories. We cannot just go and copy them, and then use them in our own story. That is not good. So we had to go back to the drawing board and we had to recreate most of the characters that we had. That's how the space is so open for everybody to see that you'll be shocked that if you copy somebody's item, it will be known immediately because people know the uniqueness of different works that are coming up in the space. So what I'll say is there's a whole lot of legalities, copyright issues that you could face if you steal somebody's work or you copy somebody's work and mint it on the blockchain. The blockchain is not a place to go if you're not original, if you're not creating your ideas by yourself. It's not the place for you. You actually have, even if you're drawing fella, can you draw him in your own imagination, right? If you're drawing Tiwa like the musicians, Wizkid and Davido and all that, can you use your imagination? Can you not look at somebody's work? Can you make yours unique? Can you give it certain attributes that makes it unique to what you do? Let your creativity speak, so it's a space that we usually advise, do not put anything out if you haven't double checked on copyright. You have to check, you have to be purposeful. Yeah, you actually have to look at checking other people that have done those same things, that have brought out those same ideas. You have to look at their work and you have to make sure that your work in no way infringing on the copyright of any existing work. Okay, so you actually have to be coincide and you have to be very, very sure that what you're doing is creative, is unique, and you own 100%, or it is co-owned by you and some others, and then you can pick that item and you can mint it on the blockchain. Okay, so legal issues are very serious in this space, even though they are not taking effect. But if your project is big, be sure that people will look it up. Except your project is not a big project, like what we are working on is actually a big project, and because it was a big project, we got people calling us from Russia, from the US, from here. Okay, these were just on trials. These were not yet minted on the blockchain, right? And they were just on trial, and we got so many calls, and people just brought out images that were existing that resembled us. No, they were not really the same. They just looked like us. And we had to go back and redo all of this thing, because if we are taking them live and minted them on the blockchain, we'll be facing lawsuits from a lot of companies. And imagine if your project is successful, you'll be
Mm.
using all what you've gotten to pay for
Copyright.
copyright infringement. Yeah, copyright infringement. So
Mm.
it's easy to be very creative, but at the same time, there's always a temptation to copy. And what I'll say this evening is, do not copy. Do not look at, create your own. This is a creators economy. NFTs and the blockchain and everything is for the creators. Those people who create are going to enjoy NFTs. They are going
Yeah.
to make so much money from NFTs. I can assure you guys, because what I have seen is just a tip. What we are seeing in the blockchain, in the crypto space, and in the NFT space is just a tip of what is coming. So if you prepare yourself well, be creative, you're going to really, really have fun with this world, this new world that is emerging.
All right. So now let's get back to the basics, especially for those who are new to NFT and want to learn the process of how to list an NFT on a marketplace. So before an NFT goes live, the marketplace, a lot of processes are involved. So explain the breakdown of this process, before an NFT, goes live, to a marketplace.
All right. So before you put an NFT out, you must, like I said, the first process is making sure that what you're doing is unique, because I think I always advise that you study the market,
Okay.
right? Study the communities that are forming on the NFT spaces on Twitter, on Facebook, on the platforms where these NFTs are being sold. We have OpenSea, which is a major and most popular, and then we have Rarible. Yeah, we have Rarible. These are the two most popular, and then there are so many others coming up every day. We are even releasing one very soon. Okay, so you have to like do research, study what is selling really good in the space. People don't love too much serious things. They love simple stuff. They love people want to see what you're doing from a creative and simplicity point of view. Okay, so keep your work simple, keep your work neat, keep your work your memes. If you're doing memes, they should they should they should direct me, they should give me, they should be telling me something, they should be communicating with me. A picture can say a whole lot than what we say from our mouth. Okay, so you could keep it that simple, and then immediately you're ready to go live, you must have done your checks. You must have probably used Google to search your image. Google can actually use your image to actually check for any other image that exists that is like your own, just to be sure that you are not infringing or you're not copying any existing work. Once you have done that, the next step is to meta tag your images. You could use a software I use, it's called Meta Image. I know it's available on I know it's available on iOS. I use it on my laptop. You could check. I don't know if it's available on Windows, but Meta Image will help you to add meta tags. Tags like let me just read a little bit of them to you. So you actually want to look at the name of the owner of the project, which is very important. You also want to look at the name of the image itself. You want to look at the software that was used to create it. You want to look at certain things, about that, the artist that created that project, assuming you're not the artist, the image description, what are you drawing, or what is on the project, or what is on the image. Now, this is for meta tag for images, okay? There are other ones for music files and other kind of files, audio files, and all whatnot. Then the copyright, who has the copyright to that image, okay? The software that was used, okay? The Do you have any comments and all of that about that image? Was it a camera image? What camera was used to take that image? You could also sell pictures on the blockchain, very good creative pictures that you take, you move around taking them. You could also have a career from taking pictures, okay? So the camera model, the serial number, the date and time, okay? Then what date was it created? Did you modify it? So many things that the software will allow you to encode, to meta tag into that image. Now, when you do that, if that image travels around the internet and is from you, so far it is saved, that meta tag will always go with that image. So it's important that we do this. It's not really necessary, but I just do it so that wherever my work is out there, I can know, okay, I can always check the tags. I can always say, okay, this is my work. Check the tags is my work. When you check the tag, you see that, okay, all what I encoded on it is actually on the image. So once you're done and you're ready to go, choose a platform. You've probably been doing research. You see that, okay, people sell very well on OpenSea. Most people don't sell on Rarible. You do all that findings and then choose OpenSea. Okay. I will also advise you choose OpenSea because the transaction cost is once. On Rarible, if you upload 50 times, you will pay 50 times. If you upload 1,000 times, you pay 1,000 times. But on OpenSea, after your wallet is approved, which you usually pay the transaction, um, the gas fee for that day and for that time and for that minute and for that second. So if Ethereum gas fee for transaction ranges between $100 and $800, that is what you will pay once and for all. You will not have to pay again to upload. Okay, this is why a lot of people do OpenSea, because the payment is just one time. You don't have to pay after the first payment. After your wallet is approved for upload, you don't have to pay again. And OpenSea will just keep on minting all your NFTs. This is really good because you spend less on the long run. But with Rarible, your wallet will be approved on a fee, and then when you're uploading, if you're uploading 100 items, you can imagine sometimes to upload an item could be like 50 100 $200 to upload an item. It's really not economical for people who are creating and they don't really have money to mint on, on the blockchain. So with OpenSea, you can make that first payment, which is like an investment, and then subsequently you're uploading all your works free without any fee at all. So after your work is uploaded and minted to the blockchain, you have to come and put them on sale. That action of putting them on sale, you put the amount you want to sell. Are you listing them for a particular month? Are you auctioning for 2 months, for 6 months, as the case may be? All of that is available on OpenSea and on Rarible as well. And there are other things in there. You have to create communities around your NFTs after you minted. You have to create the hype. You have to make people believe in giving those NFTs like value. Immediately somebody buys them. Okay, you actually have people start buying them. People start buying them from you, and before you know it, people start reselling them because you can buy and you can resell. And another good thing is that when you buy, anybody that buys it from when you sell to someone, anybody that buys it from them, you are still making a certain percentage which you're allowed to input when you're creating those items. So if you want to make 10%, even if that item is sold 5,000 times, you will earn 10% on those 5,000 times. That's why it's good. That's why it's a ripple economy. So imagine, say, a musician uploading 50,000 copies and selling them for, say, $20 each. When people are reselling them, the musician is making 10%. So as the price is going up, he's earning more money. That is just the uniqueness of NFTs and what we have come to know them for. Okay, so that's the whole process of going, you know, getting your work ready, approving your wallet, and then minting those NFTs. That is just a simple process, and it's actually very easy. You just need to maybe watch a video on YouTube so you won't make a mistake, or we do free classes sometimes, so you could join our Telegram and attend some of our free classes. And maybe the new session will start by the maybe first week of March. You could come and learn how to upload. So at the end of the day, before I go on that question, you would need a wallet protocol, maybe a MetaMask or a Trust wallet on your phone, or a MetaMask on your phone or on your browser. Okay, so you would install MetaMask to your phone, or Trust wallet to your phone, or install MetaMask to your browser, whether Firefox, Chrome. I think they've done for Opera now, and some other browsers. I know that the one that I haven't seen yet is the Mac, the Safari browser. I haven't done anything on the Safari just yet. So you will need all of that because OpenSea will require you to connect your wallet to those platforms and perform those transactions. Okay, so if you didn't get that process, you could ask me a question and I'll be happy to answer you.
All right. So if you have any question, you could simply just post it on the chat section. We would do well to answer those questions accordingly. Um, you have made mention about the creators economy, okay, which is very very important to NFTs. Okay, so the question is how the NFT, host of actually impacts the creators economy, and what is the future outlook for the creators economy going forward with NFTs. Okay,
How they what, please? Can
how
repeat?
NFTs impact the creators economy.
Okay, so I won't say impact, I'll say disrupt. That's the right word because NFTs have basically changed how we see life, how we view a lot of things. So, like I usually explain to people, right? If Davido was to hold the concert and he was going to hold it at, say, um, let's say Lagos Stadium, for example, there's a limit to how many people can attend that concert, that show, right? There's a limit. Let's say 30,000 people. Okay, but let's say Davido wants to hold that concert in the metaverse. That concert can be attended by more than 1 million people, but nobody will go there with a fake ticket. Trust me. That's it. That's what this technology is going to do for us. And truth be told, the concert will still feel real. You can still meet people because you will see people. You can still vibe to the music that Davido is going to showcase there. But you're going to get access to that concert with a with an NFT that will give you a pass to the concert. So what it does for Davido now is 30,000 people don't need to squeeze through into a stadium. A billion people could also attend that concert, that show. Okay, so that is the disruption that this technology is bringing, and NFTs are giving hidden artists the voice. Okay, before you put your work on social media and you put your work on Facebook, Twitter, it's lost in a whole lot of things that are generated every day. But on the blockchain, I know that a lot is being minted on daily basis, but your work can still get it. Your work can still be seen, okay, because it's unique and you're building communities around it. All right. So it does not just offer that the creators a new channel to make money, but it disrupts how that money is made, how your uniqueness is protected, because your work is now protected, your work is unique. You know, if the Nigerian movie industry will key in, for example, there'll be no fake definitely at the end of the day people will still give other people those movies to watch, but assuming you need an NFT to just watch a movie, okay, and maybe because you have that NFT you can always watch that movie, except you transfer that NFT to someone, that's when the person will be able to watch that movie. So it offers us different solutions to the problems that are existing for the creators economy, apart from making it easy for creators to earn, apart from the fact that it's generating billions of dollars every day for creators. It offers another angle, which is security to your creative content. Okay, offers a whole lot apart from images, like we were saying, people will download them and have them and all of that. You want to look at it from, how about the music files and all those other files that you must actually buy them to own them. Okay, and that uniqueness, that, like I said, is a community. You want to be able to say, oh, this is my NFT of Davido's music, or this is my Davido track on the blockchain. There are only 1 million copies and I own one. That's the uniqueness it gives. That's what it gives to the creators now, to go and know that they have what can really protect their work in the community, help spread their work, and then also help them to make so much money from their work. So the technology is bringing a whole lot, and um, I'm not sure this part of the world is ready, but there's so much advancement in other parts of the world, but we will get there. We'll get to understand what this technology can do for us, and how we can use it in different sphere, in different areas. But be sure that the creators, if you're a creative person, this is power to you. You don't need any middleman. That's what the NFTs
Exactly.
are doing. You don't need any middleman. You don't need anybody. All you need is your creative, your tablet, your wallet, your blockchain, connecting yourself to the blockchain. That is all you need.
All right, interesting to know that with NFTs, creators can access their royalties without any middleman obstructions. Okay, which is one of the problems traditional digital distribution platforms has when it has to do with creators royalty and all of that. So the
Yeah.
creative people do much of the work, and then they earn less for their creative work. But with NFTs, it has given them that unlimited access, and that unlimited abilities, to earn from their royalties. Somebody just asked a question here, Hene Amos. He says, for those of us who are not artists, how do we benefit from this um, whole stuff? Okay.
If you're not an artist, you're not a musician, you can partner with them, those your friends that are artists and those your friends are musicians. Okay, so you could partner with community, you could partner with people. Like I said, it's a if you have the knowledge, somebody else don't have the knowledge, go show them this knowledge, and then bring them, to making NFTs. A royalty. I am not an artist, I'm not a musician, but I mean, I started working on NFTs with several artists, and they just brought my ideas to life, and they earn a royalty, I earn a royalty. That's how unique it is. And in NFTs, you cannot tell somebody he didn't sell because it's there. The transaction is there on the blockchain. We cannot see it. You cannot go and sell the item for 1 million and come and give me 50,000. No, the item sold, we agree that I'll take 10% or 20%, you will take 40, another person will take 20. Once that item is sold, we are seeing it. We are seeing it on the blockchain that the item sold. So I need my 10%. So it's that's actually what it does to it brings in transparency, and apart from that, it brings in a lot of openness, to doing business with people. So if an item sold, clearly our terms are on paper. I will take this, you will take this, you will take that. And the item actually sold, we can see the transaction hash, the transaction reference, and everything. We can see it on the blockchain. And the transfer of item to that person that bought. So all those things are not controlled by any human. That's another good thing. It's not let me buy your NFT, you now transfer it to me. No. Once I buy it, the item is transferred to my wallet. I now own it. Okay, so if you're not a creative person, get close to people who are creative that don't know about this technology. Like I said, we've not had up to 1% of Africa yet on the NFT space. So you can imagine if you start having 10%, 20%, who is going to drive that? Who will be the drivers? You, those people that are on this call, and those people that know about the tech and are doing something to actually advance the tech.
Hen Amos, I hope that's clear on that. Okay, so people do buy NFTs, okay, for several reasons. Okay, because when you look at the NFT market, you know, some persons think of it like a joke, okay, because they tend to ask, why would someone, buy a piece of item, okay, digital content, what's really the rationale behind such decision. So there are quite a lot of reasons why people buy NFTs, okay, and one of which could be art appreciation, okay, the love of art, just like the way people buy art, okay, artworks, okay, just to display in their house. Okay, so people also buy NFTs for that same reason, okay, because maybe they're just having collections that they want to sample in their on the metaverse. Okay, so people buy NFT for that reason. So people also buy NFTs for signal status. Just like if you are a member of the Board 8 Club, it gives you that status. Okay, that signal status of being a member of the Board 8 Club, because it gives you that certain class. Okay, that you're a part of that, probably the billionaires or the millionaires club. You understand? So, and also people buy for the reason of
That's the hype.
yeah, the hype. People also buy for profit. People also go into NFTs for profit, okay? Because you think that if you buy this particular NFT, you could sell it, in the future for a crazy amount of money. And also people buy, to support a creator's cause. If you want to take, for instance, now a creator comes up with an NFT project that is intended to reach out to, let's say, the less privileged, okay? And the creators idea is that, okay, proceed from this NFT will be used to for charity's sake. Okay, so people could buy that NFT because they want to support that creator's cause, all right, which is reaching out to the less privileged. Another reason could also be to belong to a community, okay, because belonging to that community, offers several opportunities and benefits, okay, and I also think that people also buy for the fun of owning one, okay, owning an NFT. So, how do we really make sense of these whole reasons, both to the creator and to the buyer also? Because I'm sure whoever is creating an NFT really has to build this NFT around all of these reasons, okay, to meet a specific market needs. Okay, so how do we make sense of this, both to the creator and to the buyer of that NFT?
All right. So, like you've rightly put it, NFTs are, like I said, there are some NFTs that you buy for access to a service. So, for example, a, if we now say, okay, all the plane tickets, or um, if you now say, I don't know which example to give now, or a show that is supposed to happen, and all the NFTs holders can go to that show, without paying. Okay, you've provided a kind of a service for those NFTs. So if I love that show, I'll actually want to own that NFT. Okay, so that's a reason to actually buy that particular NFT. Like you also said, it could be because of societal status, my status in the society. I own this particular setup. I own five of these particular NFTs. You know, the community have actually given those NFTs a lot of value, and people have put so much value in those NFTs. So it's the same thing with building big houses, living in, buying the Mercedes and all of that. It's almost the same thing. Okay, so communities have actually put value to these things, but then we cannot ignore the fact that a lot of NFT projects, most of them are for charity, most of them are for a cause, most of them are to advance the growth of this technology across the world, most especially in Africa. Most of them they have different causes, they have different, need, or you could put different thoughts to all of these projects. But at the end of the day, it makes sense to the creators because they are earning money, they are making money. The creator of this popular NFT, please could you remind me? The beer, is
But
it
but a
is it okay? The board
but
ape, right?
yeah, but a
Okay,
biatch.
I'm sure he didn't know his project will become this big. But his project is so big, you can see one board ape, you can see the cost of just one board ape. Okay, so That is because of the whole community that was built around the board ape. And basically, if you look at those board apes, actually, sometimes I laugh when I look at some of them. They actually they look special, they look nice, but they make me laugh. Okay, I wouldn't buy them. I buy into certain projects that will have a service map to them, or that will have um, will give me access to something tomorrow. Okay, that is also important and very key to note. If you're going to buy NFTs, you should have a reason. Why do you want to buy NFTs? Do you have the money to buy certain NFTs? All these are things that you need to reason out. And NFT could start. I bet you if Bored Ape go and do some NFTs now, they are $1. All of us here will buy it because we know that the price tomorrow will not be $1. You could buy them $1, $200 today. Tomorrow the price is $100,000, or the price is $1 million. But you could see the marketing that goes on, the community that are behind the board ape. The price keeps on increasing. So because the price is not in fiat, the price is not set in fiat. Because if the price is set in fiat, that growth might not even be there. So the price is set in Ethereum. So it's subject to a fall or a rise. So if Ethereum drops, the price is actually dropping in fiat. If Ethereum goes up, the price is going up in fiat. Okay, so that makes them actually very unique. So if you pick up a community NFT, so those things you need to look at before you actually buy or invest in an NFTs, the community around, the number of holders. You always see it there in bold in the on OpenSea. You see the number of people holding that NFT. You see it in bold. There are other things you can study. I believe those ones you can when you come to the class, maybe we would actually show you some of them. Okay. So because we may not have time to share screen and do all of that on this call, but in our classes we share our screens, we teach you what you should do to get into a project. Okay, so just on the surface level, this is just what you need to know, that NFTs are, for me, in my own, I believe that NFTs are hyped. I believe that they are really, really hyped. Do they have value? I believe they have value. Do we have need for them? I believe we have need for them because they are changing the way we interact. They are changing the way we access services, changing the way we get in on different things on the internet. Okay, and apart from that, people attach value to them. So I may say that they are overhyped, but I would actually still go into them because it just make common sense, from the growth of the world to this stage. We saw different technologies. We saw when people traded with cowries, where people exchange, food items for value and all of that. We saw all that growth. We saw when we entered Web 1, we entered Web 2, where we registered domains, build websites, connect payment, and collect money from people. We saw all of that growth. Some of these things we wouldn't have done, but we did them. You know, so we are now seeing Web 3, and Web 3 is bringing NFTs, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and all of that. And this is a new way, it's a new order for us. And what I'll say is, don't be that person that is not getting in now. Get in now. Don't wait for tomorrow. So no matter the negativity around the technology, just know that technology always eventually gets stable and better.
All right. We have a few questions there. We would like to take so as we wrap this up. So, okay. Imaugi says you can flip NFTs, buy low and sell high if you can afford the transaction fees on some platforms. My question here is: are there marketplaces where you can flip NFTs at lower fees?
Well, for now, You can buy NFTs when they are at the floor price and sell them when the price is high. Okay, and it depends on you when you want to actually perform that sale. But just know that NFTs, like I said, not all platforms that you will spend so much in NFTs. Okay, so in OpenSea, yes, because I'm there, my items are there. I pay just once. Okay, and you can buy NFTs there, and you can sell them there on OpenSea. But like I said, it's the energy around the NFT, the community around the NFT. Don't go and buy if you're buying an NFT that is new and young in the market, research the community. Don't go in without researching the community. You know, would there be growth? Would they promote them? Even after a musician has sold out everything as NFT, he still goes and he still promotes those things. So people are guaranteed to resell at a higher price. You bought at $2 or $5, you're selling at $500. That's a profit. You're selling at $1,000. That's a profit. It must not necessarily be the big amount. You could buy so many cheap NFTs and sell them at 500, 1,000. You still make money. It's a business. So at the end of the day, it's a business. You can still make money.
Okay, you have dive into this already, but just for emphasis sake, um, what are the criteria that you should look out for, before purchasing an NFT, and also what are the red flags you should also look out for, okay, before purchasing an NFT, because you know quite well that a lot of NFTs are out there, okay, are just not going to make it through. Okay, so it's important that you do a lot of checks before purchasing an NFT. So, what are those criteria that you should, look out for, and then the red flags that you should be able to spot before, signing that this in contract, okay, on the marketplace to purchase an NFT.
All right. I'm just trying to open C, so I'll look at some key variables. All right. So on OpenSea, there's what we call the number of items, the owner, or a list of the owners. This list is the wallet. Okay, the number of wallets, and the floor price and the volume traded. It's always important to look at the volume traded and probably the floor price. Okay, if the floor price of a collection is 5 Ethereum, that's already an expensive collection. Okay, but if the floor price of a collection is about 0.08, that's a good project to go in. Okay, so these are all the things you need to look at. So like some of our projects, the average floor price currently is 0.4. Okay, and depending on how Ethereum has been going up, that 0.4 is actually already high. Okay, so you need to look at the floor price and you need to look at the volume traded. As this project traded a lot in terms of buying and selling, are people really buying and all of that. So that will give you an insight whether you should actually invest in that project. If you look at those variables and you're not really satisfied, what is a project achieving? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to build? What are they trying to do with their NFTs? You can go to visit their website, you can visit their Twitter handles, you can engage with them, because I know some of them will have calls on Twitter and Telegram and all of that. Join the communities, do your research before you buy anything. Get in, it's your money. So get in there, ask questions, do the needful, do what you're supposed to do all of this research. If you're convinced, don't hold yourself back. We always give an advice: do not put monies into cryptocurrencies that are for survival. We call them survival funds. Don't put your survival funds, your rent, your food money, and all of that into NFTs or into blockchain. Okay, maybe you don't have need for a $500 right now. You could put it into blockchain or into NFTs, and maybe it could become 1,000. It could be, at the same time, the risk is that you could lose all of it. Okay, so it's a space that you actually need to research very well before you get in. And those are the variables I can give you now. Maybe um, in our classes, we'll actually add a a topic for this specially so that we can treat it very well. We can take a look at some NFTs. We can actually do it practically. We can look at the volume traded together. We can look at the floor price, the number of owners, the number of items in the collection, and all of that. We can do all of that. So we can dissect all of this in the classes. But those are the variables you need to look at. And it's very important to look at the community on Twitter. That's very important. Very, very important. You look at the community, validate a lot of things, visit their website, join their AMAs, and all of that. It's very, very important that you do that before you commit to buying anything or paying for anything on the blockchain.
Okay, just to add to that, I think I came across an article somewhere that talked about this particular subject of red flags. Okay, about NFTs, and some of the points that they made was sketchy social media activity. Imagine
Yeah,
going into sketchy social media activity. Okay, like we said, NFTs are built around communities and all of that. So imagine being a part of an NFT community where there's really no activity going on there. It really a red flags that you should look out for. Okay, probably there's an abusive Discord behavior where um, community members' questions are being ignored. Okay, that should be a red flag. Okay, or probably because a community member asked a question that about the legitimacy of it, and the community member is being blocked out of the community. That's
yeah.
something you should also look out for. And then also no audits for a project. Though audits are not 100%, but I believe that they could go a long way, to prove the legitimacy of a project. Okay, and also design. Okay, now this the issue of the of design. Um, Although NFTs could be anything, it could be anything crazy, you put out there, but um, you should also look out for projects that are carefully designed. Okay, because you don't want to just buy anything out there. A project that the creators do his due diligence, to take time to design that NFT, gives you an insight that okay, such a project has it's has a high potential than something that is just lazily drawn or something. Okay, it shows the value the creator has for his or her consumer. Okay, for the effort the person puts into that design. It may look very, yeah, but you should be able to spot a design that is actually carefully drawn. All right, so that is has to do with the quality of the design. All right, so these are some of the things you should look out for. And then over promising, are they promising you that okay, buying this NFT will make you a millionaire overnight? I mean, they probably just want your money. Okay, it's an over that one. It's actually been overhyped. All right, so those are some of the red flags you should look out for. All right, so all right, so let's dwell a little bit on this. Okay, before we wrap this up. All right, so the NFT market is actually rapidly growing. All right, and of course we know that the market it's going to expand more than this. Okay, the especially when it has to do with the creators economy. So what are the opportunities this industry presents to us? Okay, and then how can we benefit from this opportunities from this growing industry? All right.
Okay, so if you talk of opportunities, people could come together first of all and build a business around NFT, gaming, metaverse, and all of that. And the few years back, we will not think of that actually. We won't think of people coming together to build a game that people will use NFTs to enter. So that is in a way an economy that has been created, opportunities have been created. So if I could build a team today, bring them together. I could have the creative side of that team, the ones that are designing the concept. I could have the ideation side, the creative side, the engineering side, and all of us could come together. We could build on this market, on this new market, and it's not even a joke when you see a 1 to 10 trillion or $13 trillion market space. No other market in the history of the world has offered more in terms of value of market potential. So that's the value of the market potential of the cryptocurrency industry and NFTs and blockchain and cryptocurrency. Anything you want to talk about, no other marketplace has offered so much in value. What are you looking for in that so much? 1% or 0.002% or 0.005%. So you and your team from that percentage can actually leverage. You can grow your wealth, you can grow a lot of things based on just that 0.00 something percent of that entire market. So we've looked at the different economies, the financial technology with the fintechs and all of that. We see what a lot of companies are doing there, but that's just a tip. That's really just the starting point. Okay, the NFTs, the marketplaces, all of them offer so much, so much to the creator, to teams that are going to innovate and do stuff for that marketplace. You could actually have a team that just help designers to bring in new NFTs to the space. Okay, you don't actually need to be the ones selling the NFTs. You could just say, okay, my team of 2, 3 were dedicated to bringing your dream NFT to life. So I could come to you guys with some crazy ideas. I want space Africans. I want to see how I and people are going to the moon with Agbada or Ashoki or whatever, and you could just create it for them. They will pay you. That's the economy we're talking about. Whatever they do with them later on is really not your business. You have delivered on what the person had in his head. So all of these new things that we are seeing now right now were not there 4, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. The technology was there, but it was really new, and people really did not know the potentials. It's now we are beginning to see the potentials. And when I say a market has a potential of 7 to 13 trillion dollars in the next 10 years, then you should believe that when you do something around that that particular thing, you're really going to the economy is really big to accommodate you. And those that are seeing this technology right now, get on board, find something to do around it. Look for something to ignite your creative side or to set up something that helps people to fulfill or bring NFTs to life. So there are so many angles. What about the angle where you just go, sit, trade, sell back, buy again, buy small, sell at the top, exit the project? Those are all opportunities you're looking at. So many, there are uncountable opportunities. How about our government? They can leverage on this technology to provide the best forms of election. Maybe my voter's card might be an NFT. It's unique. It cannot be faked. It cannot be flipped. So many things can ride on this technology. Also, my birth certificate could be an NFT. So we stop printing out papers and save money and all of that. Okay. The minting part of it could even be free for government. Government could build their own blockchains and offer these services free to citizens. So there's a whole lot in there that we can. Most of us we have local government certificates. What if that was an NFT minted for me? These are all areas where this technology can be applied and it will make life easy and simple. Okay, we want to look at also in medical, in hospitals. We're looking at how NFTs can help the medical industry to cut on wastage and a whole lot. There's so much research going on there, and you that is knowing about this technology, you could also bring out your own innovation in all of these areas that I'm talking about, because the world really needs more innovation around the space. There's really less. There's so much money in the space, but we don't have very good innovations in the space. So if we have good innovations in this space, I bet you that is an economy that is being created. That is an economy that is going to generate so much money for the players, for the major players that will be in it. That's why every company today is talking of metaverse. Apple is joining, Facebook is already there, Microsoft was already there. All of them are going there because they know. And just to end by saying that the advertising industry is going to really benefit more from NFTs. Like I said, you put a billboard in Lagos on Third Mainland Bridge. How many people potentially can see that billboard? Maybe 3 million people in a year. Maybe that pass across that billboard. Some are coming to the island, some are going to the mainland. They are seeing that billboard. But you won't believe that you could put that billboard in the metaverse, and 1 billion people can see it. That is it. That's when we think of it, when we think of the numbers, it's quite different, because we are coming from websites where we have to click, enter, click, go here, and the websites are so many. We can't even go through. How many websites can we go through in our lifetime? Think of it. But here is the metaverse opportunity for all of us. We could buy a device, put on our face, and we appear in a space, and we are just moving. 1 billion of us are entering that space every day. You know, Nike is building a showcase on the metaverse. Okay, so you could go there and see their new collections and all of that. It could make you come out and come and buy in the real world. So the metaverse will shape decision making in business, growing economies, and all of that. So it offers a whole lot of opportunities, and we can't even talk about all of them in a call like this, because the opportunities are so many opportunities.
Okay. If you want to know more about the opportunities that this technology presents, you could always reach out to either of us, and we could always help you out or guide you. So you're the founder of an NFT project, which is Project NFT Africa. Um, tell us about the project and the significance of this project for the NFT community.
All right, so Project NFT Africa hasn't really kicked off because I believe I've been doing a lot more in my career. Project NFT Africa was to be a platform to showcase African creativity on the NFT space and raise money for schools. The target was for us to go from just building schools to helping poor children go to school. So that was the essence of Project NFT Africa. It was to build on use the culture and heritage of Africa to provide more opportunities for Africans. So think of a school, maybe an informal school like an art school, where we just build it and maybe hand it over to mission or whichever body can actually run it, and then people go there and learn how to draw. There's so many people that have skills but don't know where to go and learn, or they don't have the finance to go somewhere and learn. So the target of Project NFT Africa was to come out, be that community that grow the African NFT space, raising finance for different projects. It could be for building a school, building new schools that are backed with technology, end-to-end technology. So we're looking at, in a way, raising money to help build the potentials of Africa. We want to see more of Africa in the space. Right now, we are seeing more of other countries, but we know that what we have at heart can beat any other country in terms of culture, cultural potentials, and all of that. So the question was, how do we grow all of this? How do we build a community that looks at growing all of this? And Project NFT Africa was a solution. It was conceived last year. We've had some works minted on the blockchain, but we haven't really had the time to push it just yet. So we are still working on some technical details back and forth with some of our designs and all of that. And I am sure that this year would maybe announce very soon, maybe in March, when we would fully go live with the entire project, full marketing, building the community around the project and all of that. We just needed that enough time to look at, what we were really trying to do in that space. Are we trying to build a project that was just focused on making money for us? When you think of different causes that we have to pursue in Africa, the fact that we are still backward, the fact that more than 20 million people are still poor in Nigeria, are living in abject poverty in Nigeria, the fact that we have more than 20 million out of school children in Nigeria alone. For us, we're looking for ways to actually help, you know, send people to school, in our own capacity. From last year, we impacted over 2,000 out of school children with different we provided sandals, we provided school uniform, we provided school fees for some of them. And even this year we have done our initial January project, which provided s- school uniform, books, and all of that for several kids. And then for 10 kids, we pick them up. We are going to pay their school fees till they graduate from school. So we're looking at that platform where what we make just keep on going into, helping people. Obviously, yes, when people buy into this project, they go resell the project, no problem. But what we are selling to make out of the project is directly going financing all of these projects across different institutions. At least a tangible portion of it, I think, is 60% of it is going into this project. While our artists on this on the work, they earn a percentage, and then our organization actually earn a percentage to keep it running with all of these activities and all of that. So that was the thought behind the project. We have done a lot already, but we haven't really come around to build that community that is required. That's because we've actually been come off 2 years that have been really busy, and then with lockdown and all of that, and hasn't given us really that time to, you know, put a lot and channel the project to make it successful. But we are going to do that starting from next month, when most of us will be a lot freer to actually take on social media, talk like this call that we have. Usually we don't even have time to come out like this. So have more of this sort of calls, engage the community, answer questions, Twitter spaces, and all of that.
Okay, that was awesome. So let's just pick one question here before we wrap this up. We may not be able to attend to all the questions here, but we will do well to respond to them. Okay. Maybe we'll have to find a way to respond to these questions of this live session. Um, there's a question here that says, "What is bragging rights in NFTs?" that was okay. The person said, I came across a study. You only have bragging rights whenever it comes to NFT. So, what is bragging rights in NFTs?
Well, you could call bragging right hype. So it's just an unofficial way of saying hype. You know, like I said when I started, we give value to we give value to projects. You know, people give value to things. You know, your car is as valuable as the value you ascribe to it, and probably the price that you pay for it. So I really don't believe in bragging, right? So, um, but hey, there are people that see it as a thing, and because there are people that see it as a thing, they create an economy around it. I am here because this offers a big economy, and I'm out there telling people that this is a big economy. If you're a creative person, stop wasting your time, get on board. If you're someone that believes you can buy and sell NFTs, get on board, make your studies, make your findings before you put your time and money on it. So yeah, that's that.
All right. So, we have gone past 1 hour that was allotted for this live session, but nonetheless, it's been a very educative and interactive section. I believe we have picked 1 or 2 things from this session, and a lot has been said. It's the whole content is live on YouTube, so you can always make reference to it. I'd like to thank our speaker who out of his busy schedule, took our time to join on this YouTube session. Thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity and the privilege.
Well,
Okay, I also want
thank
to
you for
thank.
having me.
Okay, well, so I'd like to thank our audience who also took our time to join this call. You We are here because of you guys. We love you guys, and we like to see a lot of us, especially from this part of the world, get on to NFTs and also leverage on the opportunities that NFTs present. So that's the essence of this series. It's going to be a series that's going to be around NFTs, metaverse, and the whole lot of topics that are trending today in the blockchain and cryptocurrency ecosystem. So I believe this is just awesome setting the space. Is going to be a lot more that's going to come up from this channel. So I'd like you guys to keep up with us, and so what we have to unfold. I'd like to thank everyone for staying true to this time, and I believe it has been a well spent time. Okay, so guys, we would have to continue this some other time. Thank you very much for staying true.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me today.
Uh,
Probably would stream one of these days from the metaverse.
okay, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. We'll have to go. We'll have to go live
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
metaverse. Okay, we have to go live the metaverse and do 1 or 2 things there. We'll all be on our head on our HR. Okay, so guys, it's really been an awesome time. Okay, having all of you here. Uh, we hope that this would not just be the first of its kind. We also have a lot more other coming up. All right. So until we meet again. Bye for now.
Bye, guys, and good
Uh,
night.
Good night.